Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Just finished watching Carlos Adamas get the stoppage over Julian J. Rock Williams. I have to start out by saying that I chose Adamas in this fight. And if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that I picked him to stop J. Rock between rounds 8 through 10. Now, a little later, we'll get to the stoppage itself. But let's start with the pros and the cons. Let's start with Julian Williams. The pros would be for a guy who I think best days are behind him. I thought that he looked pretty decent in this fight. I thought that I really liked he kind of threw a sneaky, quick, straight right hand, and then he would slide to the side and duck under Adames' punches. I thought that he did a decent amount of body work. I like the fact that Julian, when he felt that Carlos was maybe trying to bully him a little bit, he would throw those same shots back and show that you're not going to bully me. And he showed a lot of heart in there. The cons, I didn't think that he had enough foot movement and enough upper body movement to avoid those shots. Carlos Adames was throwing hard shots, and I would like to see him avoid those shots, a little bit more. Julian did a decent job of sliding left, sliding right, but I would like to see a little more. Especially, I think that's the reason why his right eye, was cut, that he was taking too many clean shots. As for Adames, the pros would be, I like the fact that he kept his hands up, which showed that he was in a defensive posture, but he was also very offensive. I love the jab from the southpaw stance. The jab was snapping. The quick right hook was good, and he did a decent amount of body work, which we know that body work will bring the hands down and allow you to hit upstairs, which is what he did to J-Rock. As for the cons, for Adames, I would say the only con I have for him is I would like to see him be a little more patient. I really think that he was pressing to get the knockout against Julian Williams, and I would like to see him not press and more let the knockout come to him. Let's talk about the fight. I thought it was a pretty entertaining fight. Those first 4 rounds were pretty action-packed, especially I think it was the third or fourth round. It's slipping my mind which one it was, but they basically stood there and went toe-to-toe. Julian Williams looked like he was hurting. He could be out of there, but he hung in there just like a true champion, like a true fighter. He hung in there and stuck around. I think he may have won the next round with his with his jab, keeping Adames at bay, taking those hard, heavy shots, and not running but fighting through them. The second half of the fight, we get the rounds 8 through 10. Adames starts picking up the pressure, throwing heavier shots on Williams, and then the referee stops the fight. Now, it is true that Williams was hurt, but he was coming forward throwing punches. So even though, yes, I did pick Adames to stop him between the 8th and 10th round, I do feel that it was an immature stoppage. I can understand if it was Julian Williams on the other end of being pressed against the ropes and Adames is throwing shots and Williams isn't throwing back, but Williams was actually throwing punches at the time. And I understand that the referee wanted to protect Julian, but I think I have to agree with his trainer. You have to give him a little more time to see if it's something he can do to possibly get back in the fight or at least keep the fight going. Now, we all know that Carlos was still going to win this fight if it made it to the end of the 12th round, but that just kind of is what it is. So what do you think? Do you think the referee stopped the fight, that it was just, or do you think it was immature stoppage? Let's talk about Adames. 29 years old, in his prime. What do you want to see him do from here? He didn't name anybody after the fight. He just said that he wants to go home and rest. But what do you want to see him do? Do you want to maybe see him fight a champion? Do you want to maybe see a rematch with Julian Williams? Personally, I don't think it's necessary for the rematch. But I would like to know, fight fans, what would you like to see Adames do? Were you impressed with his performance? And did any of you pick Julian Williams to win this fight? Also, what did you think about the stoppage? If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. Other than that, fight fans, it was a pretty decent fight. I hope you enjoyed it because I sure did. That's all for now. Holla at y'all later.